Do it. I'm ready when you ready, homeboy. Let me know what I need to do. Cause look, this is Uncle Chanel. I'm crazy.
Things of that nature. Things of that nature.
DMP switch shop. Come on, tell us what you talking about.
Tell AFX, it's DMP, baby.
Things of that nature.
DMP switch shop. Come on, tell us what you talking about.
I don't wanna stop, and you know we guarantee to give you what we got.
Right.
I don't wanna stop, and you know we guarantee to give you what we got.
Let's go. Left Coast Kings, and you owe it to yourself.
Hey, yo, this is LB, and you are experiencing Things of That Nature. Tune in. You owe it to yourself. Yee!
Yo, what's up with it, folks? It's Cal Grizzly, the chef, most of the time, Chef D. Y'all can call me D. What's up with it? Left Coast Kings in the building.
What it do, world? My thanks. This is Thing 2, also known as Doc Madnezz, Man Smooth from Sweatshop Recordings and Demolition Men Productions. And guess what? You are now tuning to Things of That Nature.
You owe it to yourself.
Yeah.
What's good, man?
Oh, man. You know it, bro. You know it. Another one, bro. What's this, like episode 3, 4, 5, whatever?
Something, yeah, something like that.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll say this, my dude. This is busy, bro. Like, I had a whole different mindset when we first got started.
For sure.
Listeners, bro, this is 24 hours, man. So shout out to all of y'all content creators that really put together a good show. Man, because this is something that you jump into, and if you're trying to be different, you know, and you're trying to be unique, which we are, we got our own thing, you're definitely gonna go ahead and have to you know, give respect to those out there. So salute to y'all, man. Just I know we all running up the same tree, but it's enough to go around, and salute, man, because it's hard work. Definitely.
You know it.
So what we got going on for today, D?
Man, we got a couple of things going on, but before we get to that, this show is sponsored.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
You ready? You ready?
Yeah, be prepared. I want to be prepared.
We are back. Today, we have one of our mainstays of the show. It's always something. You know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't. If you're just tuning in, you're about to find out. So, without further ado, let's get into the session.
Welcome to the session, y'all. I'm Doc Madnezz, Thing 2, Things of That Nature. And
Yeah.
What's up, D? I see we got some special guests in the house today.
Yeah, man. We got the one and only Tony AFX up in this piece, dog. What's going on, bro?
What up? Just thought I'd hang out with y'all. See you guys doing the thing.
Lovely. Appreciate it. Well, before we get started, y'all, once again, the session is for producers, artists, avid listeners, fans. Also, tap in below. Go ahead and leave any comments, ideas that you may have that you want us to go ahead and touch on or inquire about, or just leave some feedback for us. So before we always get started on everything here, man, I always like to ask D, you know what it is, effects, what's in your playlist?
Oh, right now, I went old school. I'm listening to some K Reno, some SIBO. I'm listening to some of the Relatives, R.I.P. Big Y. Just listening to some of the older stuff, man. Just really get into that. Matter of fact, I was listening to Short Chop.
Yeah.
I ain't heard him in a minute, so I was like, oh my God, let me go ahead and just get on that real quick.
That's what it do. That's what it do. Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. Always love to hear what people have in their playlist. Once again, tap in the comments and let us know what you're listening to. So that way, just like I put D on some stuff, if you put me on artists, I'm sure Effects puts up, people ain't heard what he's listening to. If you already know about the list that he just talked about. So that's the reason why that's important to us. But moving right along with the show. Effects. Why don't you go ahead and just give us a little bit of background? Tell us who you are, what you do, and you can take it from there, my dude.
Well, my name is Tony FX. I am the co-founder of West Shop Recordings, also DMP Demolition Man Productions, producer, composer, recording engineer. Been doing this for a minute. I mean, graduated from choir to band to DJing to now production. So just been just doing my thing, man. Music's in my blood.
Right. I hear that. About what age or time frame did you get started in music? Was it, like I know you said choir, so let me dive a little bit more into that. Your background, is that what introduced you to music? I know you say producer. Yeah, I didn't hear nothing about singing. So I just, you want to elaborate a little bit on that for us?
Well, it started in choir when I was like 7, Mom made us go to church. We were in church, man. It was like ridiculous. It was Sunday, on Wednesdays, Bible study. It was just ridiculous. So, but I got involved in choir. And then, of course, in our household, and for a lot of y'all out there who may not know me, me and the Doc are actually brothers. I'm his older brother. So there was always music played in the house, always. Yes. Saturday mornings, get your butt up, put on some music. And then it was house cleaning time, and then we were outside. But so, like I said, choir. Then I got into the junior high band. I was a drummer, and then from that, just because of the love of music, I graduated to DJing in high school, and I was DJing for two crews. I had Two Deaf Creations, so MC Rule and Legit Cool Rhythm. Wherever you guys are out there, man, we guys are still thought of. And then there was Chillin' Wiz.
All right.
And so then that graduated into, I had my first drum machine, my little Dr. Rhythm, just programming beats. So Special K, Wanda, shout out to her. And the Hot Track Studios in Pomona. So that went from there. Then started really dibble-dabbing into the production because studio time was killing us. We're paying that $45, $50 an hour in the 90s. May not sound like a lot now, but that's equivalent to like $90 to $100 now, because I think that's what the equivalent is now. So started building the studio and whatnot, and took off from there and just started learning how to make beats, and then started playing. And because I was already a drummer, I was around with musicians and stuff already, so it was an easy transition.
Okay, got that. And your inspiration, what inspired you to say get into production, so to speak? Who inspired you, or what at what point did you say, this is what I want to venture off, and then this is really what I want to put time and effort, those 10,000 hours to become an expert at what you do?
Ooh, 10,000 hours. Malcolm Gladwell, The Outliers. You guys ain't read that book?
Plug. There you go. Repeat that one more time, man. Repeat that to the listeners. Pay attention, because a lot of y'all. Malcolm Gladwell, The Outliers, and in that book they talk about the 10,000 hours, and basically, the more time you put into something, you become an expert in that, and that's correct. Where that 10,000 hours comes in. And most people don't get to that point because they're not passionate, or they don't have a love for what they do. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why they don't get good at it. We'll tap into that. Definitely. Mm-hmm. That's something I know D got some questions on later about that.
Mm-hmm. So I guess for me, it's what made me get into it was just listening. I always like to listen to how songs, well, now as we call it, how it was mixed. But I was always curious in how it was put together. Like, how come this is? You can hear that little flute or whatever in the background, but it's just enough where it's not intrusive, but it's there where it grabs your attention. That type of stuff. So that intrigued me. And of course, growing up, you had Quincy Jones, of course, producer extraordinaire, a big band. A lot of people don't know he was in the big bands growing up back in the day. Then listening to the homie DJ Slip, who produced Compton's Most Wanted MC8, and he produced the title track for Boys in the Hood and Minister Society. Of course, I am a huge fan of DJ Quick. I've always feel that he's probably one of the most underrated producers and engineers on the West Coast.
The most.
And of course, the man, Dr. Dre, who literally changed how hip hop sound, because when we get into the history of hip hop, and I kind of look at it from a different perspective, being a musician and the producer. So you have Sam Bostic, up at the Bay, of course Rick Rock, man,
mob,
Battle Cat with who changed West Coast with that hand clap. I mean, there's so many producers that I grew up. Of course, people don't talk about this cat, T-Mix, House. So, and then on the East Coast,
I know who's coming. Go ahead, slap me.
With E-Double, Eric Sermon.
Yep, the Green Eye Bandit. He is underrated, bro.
But
as a producer, definitely.
He's the East Coast Dr. Dre in my mind. He was the East Coast version of Dr. Dre. Then of course you have Timberland, the Bomb Squad, of course Pete Rock. A lot of people sleep on Pete Rock too in that era. But Molly Mall.
About to get funky for you, baby. Drop
Juice
it for
Crew,
you.
that whole Juice Crew All Stars was no joke. But once again, that goes down to the history of hip hop.
The symphony, y'all go check that out. That symphony.
Definitely. Hey, one producer that people don't pay attention to because he's not known for the production thing is Scarface.
Yeah.
Scarface. Scarface hard. He just, they just know him as Face. They don't know that producer side of him because he just, Right.
Well, that goes hand in hand also with a lot of people don't know, and even for me until recently, Rakim. Rakim produced 80% of all the stuff that they did.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I didn't know that either. I was watching the interview with him, and he said, he was the one that was making the beats, finding the samples and whatnot. And, but he grew up in a family full of musicians, as far as my understanding. So it was easy for him. But at that time, it was all about the MC and the DJ. So he let everybody shine as far as the DJ. And he did his thing as an MC, but he actually produced 80% of what they did. So I was like, wow, okay. Got to give him some credit.
Some knowledge for you right there, people. That's what this show is about, bringing wisdom and knowledge, tapping into all aspects, because, man, I never do that. That's good to hear.
Same here.
You did mention something I want to ask you. You said a lot about production, but you started off as a DJ. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was between the drummer and the DJ and the producer,
Same kind of like time and growth. Well, then who inspired you as a DJ?
What really got me into it? The magnificent Jazzy Jeff.
Jazzy Jeff.
Hey, Jazzy is so dope. It's ridiculous, bro. That dude, he slept on as a DJ. I'm sorry, DJ Jazzy Jeff is the business for real.
I mean, really, the way I look at it is, at that time, DJs were basic. I'm gonna just keep it real. It's from my translation of it was basic. You get your cuts. But when he did that, invented that transforming, it was game over at that point. It was like, oh my God, what is it? Who is it? How is he doing this? And I eventually learned how to do it. And, you know, at that time, man, you're talking about 10,000 hours. It wasn't 10,000, but man, I spent a lot of time in my room learning how to do that. And of course, in Pomona, I was one of the few people who could do it at the time. But it was just like, wow, you know. So just, of course, Jazzy Jeff. From there, it evolved to DJ Aladdin. You can't sleep on him.
Yeah.
And then as far as Terminator X from Public Enemy, people don't really talk about him very much. And of course, LL had Cut Creator and Bobcat.
Yeah.
You know, and rest in peace, Jam Master Jay.
Master J.
So, I mean, being a West Coast cat, I was influenced by a lot of East Coast because that's where the Mecca is. That's where the foundation of hip hop is from.
Absolutely. Yes,
so we added our flavor. We put our, you know, they like the boom bap. We came with the funk. And then, of course, you know, we added our little flavor of paprika, put that heat on it. You know, and I forgot about the beatboxing part.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, show did.
This show's about hip hop culture, man. Beatboxing, graffiti, you know, breakdancing, DJing, MCing, producing. So you can't forget about the beatbox, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean, really, to tell you the truth, what really turned me into hip hop was the beatboxing aspect of it. It was hearing Dougie Fresh.
We were just talking about him, huh?
Yeah, we were talking about him earlier.
You know, that's who inspired me to beatbox was Dougie Fresh. You know, Buff from the Fat Boys, rest in peace. He was, you know, he did his thing, but hearing Dougie Fresh was like, oh my God, what? And like I said, I mean, this ties into the 50 years of hip hop for me. But I remember the first time I saw Mom bought me some tickets.
Yeah.
See Dougie Fresh.
Here's the receipt.
In Long Beach, California.
Yeah.
And to hear him beatbox live and hear it in stereo was like, it was like, what the is, you know, and then from that, it was over. It was done. And of course, we had Beat Street that came out, right? Mm-hmm. And that solidified that. Then you had Breaking and then Breaking 2, which, you know, Breaking the original was better, but, you know.
Hey, but at that time,
they had to go Hollywood.
Yeah, but at that time, bro, nothing was breaking through, like, no pun intended. You know what I mean? It was so anything that can make it a little bit mainstream or bring some light to the culture as it grew. That was awesome. Oh yeah.
You're forgetting one beatboxer though.
Oh, Rozelle? And
the diabolical Biz Marquee. Yeah. R.I.P. to the diabolical one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that dude was dope, man.
He make that with me, like as an artist, for the longest. And AFX knows I've been saying it too, like, hey, bro, let's redo that. But I know it's a lot. That's a classic. So,
making music with your mouth in all that, yeah. You know, these cats don't know. I mean, a lot of these cats don't know. And that's another thing I will say, and that we'll probably touch on this on the 50 years of hip hop, on the evolution of how music has changed. But prime example, the DJ Jazzy Jeff and the transforming on how innovative at that time, nobody could do it. Right. Nobody. And then now, 2023, it's like everybody can do it. But that kind of goes hand in hand with what they said about the first person who broke the 4-minute mile.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody could do it. Nobody could do it. And then once one person broke it, then another person broke it. Then another person broke it. Now it's like commonplace.
Right.
And that's one of the things I will say, that, you know, the greatness of hip hop and just music and evolution in itself is great. But to understand where it was and how different it was and how how would say, how difficult too for hip hop.
Yeah,
You know, it
that's what I'm
wasn't
saying. To
it
break
wasn't
through.
easy in the beginning. It was not easy at all. You had to be crazy, just like sampling. I mean, I don't know if we want to touch that right now, but it's
We
like,
will.
man,
We will. But
it's
before we go any further, let's just take a quick break, y'all. So that we'll be right back with more, questions and some answers from Tony FX of Sweatshop Recordings and Demolition Men Productions. Once again, y'all, this is Things of That Nature, the session. You tuned in with Doc and the D, and Tony FX. We'll be right back, y'all.
Yo, it's Cam the Jeweler. This is Things of That Nature, and you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to check out my handle on Twitch. Twitch handle, Cam the Jeweler. You can find me playing Fortnite, Modern Warfare, 2K, everything. I'm a real gamer, like certified. You can check me out, and you owe it to yourself.
Yes, indeed, y'all. Man, thank you, Effects, for joining us on that session. To the fans, subscribers, and the listeners out there, man, hopefully you enjoyed it and got some good game. I know, D, I did. I learned some things. What about yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. A lot of insight, bro. Appreciate you being here, Effects.
no problem.
Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode, man. It's been a pleasure. We're going to have you back and even joining us on the episode and just be one of our co-hosts up here shortly, my brother. But I know we got more coming up with you and something coming up for one of our special episodes, y'all, that we're going to be putting together for y'all before the end of the year. So Effects going to be a big part of that as well. So look forward to that. I just want to give shout outs to everybody that makes it possible, everybody that's took the time to subscribe, to check us out, give us input back and forth. Anything that we get from you guys is greatly appreciated on my behalf. So thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it to my co-host.
Yeah. Make sure y'all comment, on top of liking and subscribing. I Man, I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody that's been supporting us along the way. It's much appreciated. I got to give a special RIP to my OG Pack Jack, Robert Harris. I got news. One of my coworkers, man, he's a real solid dude. Big Oak Town legend, out there in the town.
Rising Power, right?
Yeah. So yeah, Rising Power Pimp for sure. Got to give a shout to District 34, True Belizean TV, and 909 Gear. They're my folks. Salute, much love. Call your folks. I'm not a bill collector. Tap in.
Tap in.
Man.
That's what it's doing. So effects, man. Guess what, man? You can go ahead and take us all the way out, man. So the floor is yours.
All right, well, wanted to go ahead and kind of send my shout out love to all the people out there that's supporting this podcast and my two bros. Literally one of my bros and my adopted bro. And just keep tapping in, show the love, subscribe, like, comment, share. And y'all know the routine. That's how this channel grows. It's got to do all that. So, I'm gonna be back. I'm definitely gonna be back. I'm a part of this. Like, man, I'm like that background right now. That's what I do. I go in the background, come out, go back in the background. It's all good.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes, sir. With that being said, Things of That Nature. We out.
Thank you for experiencing Things of That Nature. It's my nephew. I'm Uncle Chanel. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Man, this is cool. I like this.
Things of that nature. Things of that nature.
DMP Sweatshop, come on, tell us what you talking about. Left Coast Kings, and you owe it to yourself.